Because at nighttime, you might want that glisten. You're in LA.
And it's above your head. So you're thinking like it's already gonna be in the shadow, right? On the inside.
I think that's gonna be unexpected. I think the unexpected is better.
Baby girl, una estrella. Y cuando usa lentes, pierdo mi mente. Tiene cara de modelo.
Best part of this next step is I get to work with my best friend, Daniel. We've worked together in the industry for years, you guys, and honestly, he's one of the most inspiring, talented designers I've ever worked with. And the reason why I'm gonna work with him is because one of the things you do when you design a new car is you always visualize. You don't just make decisions based on what you think it's gonna look like. You have to be able to visualize what you're dreaming of, what you're designing. So I'm gonna lean into Daniel at NS6 and they are gonna visualize everything for me. So let's go check it out. Thank you for having me to NS6. I've honestly been wanting to see your studio and I'm really excited to work with you today.
I'm so excited. It's been a while since we've worked together.
Honestly, it has been. I think people need to understand that we have known each other for a really long time and we've worked together.
Yeah.
But what I'm really excited about for this studio specifically and for my project is visualization. And I know that you're an expert at visualization.
We know a little thing about that.
Yes, you do.
So we have your car in 3D data. So let's see some samples.
I'm so glad you said that because I brought my samples. Okay, so I think we should first start with the roof color, this silver.
Okay.
I pulled 3 different silver variations that I wanted to show you today that I'm thinking about. So the first one is probably the largest pigment size. Then I kind of brought 2 others that are a little bit finer, more refined, I would say, but still very pretty and they kind of go more liquidy. And then the last sample I brought was something with a rainbow, which obviously would give a whole new effect. But in my opinion, I think maybe the rainbow is too much with the pattern that we want to do on the roof. So why don't we start by changing the roof color?
Yeah, let's do it.
Because I think it will change the whole proportion of the vehicle, right?
So in terms of the roof, are you talking about, let's just point out here, this whole black portion right now.
Where you have black will now become this color.
This silver.
So this silver.
Okay, let's try that out. And are you thinking, as YQ is putting on that silver, are you thinking something neutral, something more warm, something more cool?
Honestly, I think this one is a really nice neutral silver because the pattern on the top is gonna have color. So I think to keep this really neutral is gonna be best. Actually, that looks cool. Okay, I do wanna show you the target for the exterior body color because right now it's a little pastel, it's a little sweet.
Okay.
So I wanna show you exactly my target.
Okay, let's do it.
So let me pull up my phone. This is exactly the color that I want.
Oh,
so you can see, this is more pink and blue. This is definitely more red and orange. Yeah, you're actually getting there. So it's like a sweet spot between not being too orange and not being too pink. Look, it already looks cool with the chrome as the trim on the roof. So, I mean, proportionately, it's basically making this whole upper silver and then like the longer portion is the coral.
Yeah.
Well, listen, visualization doesn't happen overnight, so I think this is probably gonna be something that you guys can work on as we go. But now that you get an idea of exactly what I'm looking for, and I can leave these materials behind.
That'd be super helpful.
So then you can just keep working on it. So we know that this is gonna be the target for the roof, and then this is the target for the pearl, and then this is the hue.
Yep.
So with these 3, technically, we should be able to get there.
Yeah.
It's already looking good though. So all of this brings me to the next question, which is the wheel and the decision about the wheel. So I found the most amazing shop, Carlos at UAS Tire and Wheel hooked me up because he is custom making my alloy wheel to match the original cap. Honestly, finding a shop to do this is incredible, and finding somebody that can really see my vision but also wants to take on something like this, it's so cool. You gotta meet Carlos. Listen, I'm custom doing this car. I don't see me taking anything off the shelf.
Right.
Although I'm sure there's some great options,
Yeah.
I feel like this has to be custom.
It's gonna be unique to yourself.
Okay, so then there's a couple things I want to ask you, which is what size should I be looking at? And then if I wanted to make the cap, the original design, into an alloy wheel and custom pick the color, is that possible?
100%. So that's what we could do. We could 100% restore that old classic look and just blow it up in a bigger size.
Okay.
So those, back in the day, they came with 15 inch, 16 inch. Now on these cars, we put 20s, 22s.
Yeah.
Same, old school classic look, just blown up in a bigger size. And it just
Okay.
looks 10 times better when it's up against the car. There's a lot of wheel gap, and by putting in a bigger wheel, you eliminate all that gap.
Okay, now what size would you recommend to put? Because
I have an Impala next door that we have 22s. I can show you if you want
let's
to
go
look
take
at
a
it.
look.
Yeah.
It does look kind of sick with that big. Okay, so what I was thinking was, what if this was bright chrome and then the cap that came out was copper?
We can do that.
So that it was
100%.
two-tone.
It'll look really nice.
Oh my gosh,
Yeah.
this looks so good.
Yeah, it fills up everything. Like I mentioned, when you
Yeah,
blow
it
up the
does.
wheel, you really fill in that wheel gap, so it looks.
So
10
you
times
have
better.
like a more space, but I wouldn't have so much
Right.
space in there.
As far as the centers, you can design it however you want. Obviously, that more classic style, everything's kind of covered up back there.
Yeah.
So, I mean, as far as the centers, we can do whatever design that you ask for.
Oh my gosh, I think that's what I want to do because, to be honest, I really love the design
Right.
of that, like
Yeah,
the
it's
cap,
still-
the original wheel.
Still keeping that classic look, just
Yeah.
brought back to life in this modern day age.
Yeah.
Cuando me mira, no respiro. Y cada vez que ella baila,